Hi, and welcome to Arts Alive. I'm Walter Haight, sitting in for Linda Philippi this session. And today we're going to be talking about, hey, movies. We love movies. Everybody, you love movies, we love movies. We're going to talk about movies. Specifically, we're going to talk about the McMinnville Short Film Festival, which is going to be coming up here in October. And with me here today to talk about the McMinnville Short Film Festival are the founders of the event, Nancy and Dan Morrow. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So this film festival is your baby. You founded it. Tell me a little bit, before we really get into the meat of the subject, about how you developed this idea for the film festival.
Well, it came about 5 years ago when one of the local business owners put out a call for more activities for the UFO festival. We decided to create a little video contest for that, and from that we had enough interest, so we decided, okay, well, 6 months later let's create a short film festival, and that way we can probably draw in more people instead of just the genre sci-fi and aliens. After 2 years of doing that, we couldn't run both of them, so the UFO video contest is now run by the Real Hollywood Video here in town, and we've continued focusing on the short film festival. And we've taken it from local filmmakers, including Salem, and branched out to across the U.S., and this is our first year of having international entries too, which is very exciting.
Wow. So we still occasionally see the sci-fi or the horror film come in that might have been suitable for the UFO Film Festival, but now it's part of a much broader package where there really are no limits.
Right.
And so the film festival now has films of all genres,
Yes.
documentaries.
Right. We used to have it broken down by genre for the competition, like documentaries would only be competing against other documentaries and animation, but we found this year is the first year that we're doing it where every film is competing against every other film just based on the judges' scores. So that way, hopefully, the best films all rise to the top. And there were so many entries we got this year that doing it that way, I think, made for a better mix of films that are going to be at the showing.
Well, speaking of so many entries, going back to the first year that you did it, how many total? There weren't that many the first year.
I think maybe 17? We had 17 the first year.
17 films, and it was held at the community center.
The community center, and then we branched off to Gallery Theater, who generously helped us by offering us a bigger spot there, and we did that a couple of years, and then last year we broke off to the McMinnville Cinemas, because to keep it growing we needed to have even bigger seating, and we also had to cater to the filmmakers who wanted to see their films up on the big screen rather than a community theater, which Gallery was great and so generous with what they offered us, but now we've outgrown the community center, we outgrew Gallery, and we keep growing. We'll have to branch out to either 2 days or more cinemas.
Yeah, and just getting the films up on the big screen, I think that alone is kind of a draw for a lot of filmmakers. It's one thing to put your film up on YouTube and get people to see it that way, but getting it in the theater, seeing it on the big screen, you know, in full digital cinema up there, and then being there with a live audience of 200+ people, I think that's a key thing for any filmmaker to have that experience.
It certainly must be gratifying for a filmmaker to see their work debuting in a packed house on a big screen. And so that's how far we've come. Just in the first 5 years of doing this. Well, let's touch a little bit on, let's go with a little bit of what, when, and where on this thing. It is the McMinnville Short Film Festival. And
it
it's
will
going to be
on
held
Saturday, October 3rd.
Saturday, October 3rd.
Here in town, yes. It'll start at the Yamhill Valley Chemeketa campus next door to the cinemas. We'll start there with 3 roundtables that are presented by a Chemeketa professor, a Pacific University professor, and then Steve Amon from OPB, who people know through the Oregon Lens Project. Those are free to the public. Then we move over to the cinema. It's a lot back and forth. When we move over to the cinema for the 2:45 p.m. showing of the matinee. Then we move back to Chemeketa for a 5:15 p.m. awards dinner where we recognize the filmmakers, their official selections. There are 4 awards that'll be given out, plus Sunrise Rotary's Emerging Artist will be presented then.
And we've got a little surprise. I don't want to spring this on them just yet about the awards dinner.
Okay. And then we go back to the cinema at 7 o'clock. And then we'll wrap up with a little get-together for the filmmakers who are in attendance back at Chemeketa with an after-hours reception, because we have found that each year there's a number of filmmakers who stay around for, I think we stood around last year for half an hour after the showings. It was late at night. We were standing in the parking lot all just sharing how much fun it was and talking about each other's films, and there's a real networking that takes place there.
And there was no wine there for that.
No.
So we have to go to a place where there's wine being served.
Yes. This year we'll be inside and wine will be served.
Well, we're fortunate today that you brought a few clips, a few trailers of some of the films, and I want to show these to our viewing audience today. So let's watch a few of the clips. Now the first one, let's talk about the first one that you have on the list.
All right, the first one is Teal's Legacy, and it's by a Portland filmmaker, Guy Baker, and it was one that he had entered in the Portland Short Film Festival earlier in the year. It's really beautiful cinematography. It's set in the Oregon wine country, and if I recall from the credits, it's up around the Newburgh area that they're filming this. It's a short film based on a bedtime story that he created for his kids. They were always asking him for bedtime stories, and so he created this little story, and the short film grew out of that. And his hope, I'm going to read this piece so I don't get it wrong. Guy's hope is that it will encourage and motivate young viewers to welcome the possibilities of the unknown wildness within them and in the natural world around them. It's really beautiful. So,
sounds beautiful. So why don't we take a look at a short clip of Teal's Legacy.
One of these days, this will all be yours, my love. That is why it is so important for you to understand what is so special about what we have here.
You can't just sign over 11 acres to an 8-year-old girl just because she likes to play there.
He can't and never will be able to see why the woods are so important.
This is the real world, okay?
That is why it is up to you. Without the woods, we wouldn't have this. You understand. You know what lives there.
I know, Mama, but it's just, I don't see them.
Just open your heart. But most importantly of all, look in the light. And what you find, you'll never forget.
You know, it's amazing when you watch a trailer like that you think it could easily be a full-length film. But all the films, every last one of them, is under 20 minutes.
20 minutes,
yes.
which
20
is,
minutes.
that's a change we made this year. It used to always be 15 minutes, and we expanded it up to 20 minutes, which gave us a much broader range of films that could be submitted.
Well, hey, this is fun. Let's watch another one.
Oh, by all means.
So next we're going to be watching a little bit of the Mobile Stripper.
The Mobile Stripper, which, let Let me just say, pink RV. I had never seen a pink RV before until this film. This is from filmmaker Sherlyn Wong, who's originally from New York City. She visited Oregon, fell in love with it, and now she lives in Milton Freewater over near Pendleton. She has done a couple of films. She films them in Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, and uses all local actors from the area. This particular film won a Craft Award for Best Art Direction from the First Run Film Festival, and it was also, it will be shown in November at the Seattle Shorts Film Festival. So she's really starting to hit the circuit with this one too, but it's a great film.
All right, well, let's take a peek at The Mobile Stripper. So without any further ado, we're going to watch another clip right away so we can squeeze it into our time frame here. So our next film is Arrow. Arrow, yes.
Arrow's a sci-fi film. This is from a 25-year-old filmmaker, Arturo Vargas, originally from El Paso, now resides in Los Angeles. He's one of the California filmmakers coming up to the festival this year. We have 4 of them. He started filming films at the age of 10, and at the age of 13 he created a Lord of the Rings parody that won the El Paso Community College's Youth Arts Festival, and really what kick-started his whole filmmaking career. He has a master's in fine arts degree in filmmaking, and this is a sci-fi action film with some really nice special effects, action, and drama.
Sci-fi action. Let's watch. We're going to watch a little bit of Arrow now.
Who are you? I'm the one that saved your life.
Are you like from another planet?
My name is Arrow.
I'm Chase.
My girlfriend is sick and dying. I need your help. Can you help me cure her?
Only if you can help me.
Where are they?
Fight, Chase! Go. Use this time to prove yourself.
I'm just amazed at the quality of these films. They're absolutely, there are some here that are just a quantum leap above some of the features that we saw in the first couple of years. We're seeing some very quality made films. Well, I'm going to ask you to stick around. We're going to have another segment here, and we're going to talk to Dan and Nancy some more about the McMinnville Short Film Festival, which again is happening on Saturday, October 3rd at Chemeketa Community College and the next door Coming Attractions Theater. And it's going to be a lot of fun. 2 viewings, an awards dinner, and I'll tell you that little secret that I'm going to share that with you in our next segment. So don't go away. Watch our next segment. Thank you, Dan and Nancy, for being with us, and we'll be back shortly.